Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, council no-shows how Edmonton's infill housing debate may influence the mayoral race. Restaurant rookies, a new space giving new chefs a place to perfect their plates. And who needs help? Wildlife caretakers looking after more and more owls.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
City Council may be on summer break, but certain councillors can't escape the political heat. The lead up to the pause in proceedings at City Hall was contentious as a fall election looms. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, recent events have one front-runner for mayor on the defensive.
The lead up to council's summer break put a spotlight on City Hall. More than 100 Edmontonians showed up for a public hearing on infill housing, a crowd one political watcher believes was motivated by a pledge from mayoral candidate Tim Cartmell to pause mid-block infill projects.
It is not permitted under the Municipal Government Act, and we learned after the fact that city staff did send him a memo to that effect well in advance of him making the motion. So that does reek of sort of rank politics.
Eventually, council did make major changes to infill rules, but those votes happened July 8th. A couple of days into the scheduled summer break. One motion to cut the mid-block infill maximum from 8 units to 6 failed by one vote.
This was a rare opportunity for this reduction on infill to occur. And it needs the Conservative bloc to pass. Two members of the Conservative bloc, Sarah Hamilton and Tim Cartmell, opted not to show up.
Councillor Michael Jans made that motion. He's been hearing about its failure on the campaign trail.
I was at a house that had a Neighbours United sign, and they were really mad that Cartmell didn't show up.
Some candidates running under Cartmell's Better Edmonton banner also wanted to see the unit reduction approved. Nicholas Rubottom is a past executive of an infill advocacy group, telling CTV News, "I saw it as a necessary step to build trust with residents while ensuring that infill continues in a way that respects neighborhood character." Cartmell's campaign manager confirms the councillor is unavailable for comment, but Alex Haritsu says Better Edmonton candidates are encouraged to speak their mind, adding municipal parties were not designed to have whipped votes or party lines. Still, Pavlik believes the leader's missteps on infill have opened the door for challengers.
At the very least, you have a bunch of disenfranchised Tim Cartmell voters who are saying, I want someone who will actually stand up for something, and that leaves huge open opportunities in this race.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta and Ottawa are spending millions of dollars on new affordable housing units across the province. More than $200 million will go towards 25 projects that include more than 2,300 units. Some of the money earmarked for Edmonton will be used on housing for young adults and students living downtown. Alberta's Assisted Living and Social Services Minister says the money will help Alberta reach its goal of creating 82,000 affordable units by 2031.
This investment is critical to ensuring that low-income individuals in our province have access to safe, quality housing to be able to make sure that they can live their best lives in the province of Alberta.
The Federal Prairies Economic Development Minister says the agreement will also create jobs as the projects get underway. The U.S. president is again threatening to hit Canada with 35% tariffs beginning next month. Even as that looms over the economy, Alberta is seeing some resiliency. Unemployment fell in June. Statistics Canada says the national unemployment rate is 6.9%. Alberta's is 6.8%. ATB's chief economist says it's one of the few times our province has bested the national rate since 2016. Alberta added 30,000 new jobs last month. Most are in the information, culture, recreation, and manufacturing sectors. Experts say it remains to be seen if momentum will continue.
Especially with the latest, U.S. tariff announcement of 35% tariffs on non-CUSMA compliant goods coming from Canada into the United States. We'll have to see if that shows up in our economy, or if we see that the Canadian economy is more resilient than we thought.
StatsCan says young people are still struggling to find work. The unemployment rate for people aged 15 to 24 held steady at 14.2%. It looks like many Canadians are digging in their heels when it comes to staying away from American products. According to data from Nanos Research, most Canadians view their boycotts on U.S. goods and travel as temporary. Nearly half the respondents, though, say they'll outlast the Trump White House. The Canadians were surveyed on issues ranging from trade war to automotive tariffs and defense spending. After years with the Edmonton Oilers, Edmonton's skating coach is joining the Dallas Stars. David Pelche spent 11 years with the Oilers. He worked with the players to increase their skating performance and help with their off-ice training. Prior to that, he was a highly decorated figure skater, winning several championships, including gold at the 2002 Winter Olympics. Pelche's new role will be an assistant coach with the Stars. He will work from the press box, though, not behind the bench. He joins Glenn Gullitson's coaching staff. He was an assistant coach with the Oilers before being hired as the Stars head coach this summer. And the Oilers will be down a Skinner next season. Jeff Skinner has signed a one-year deal worth $3 million with the San Jose Sharks. Last season, the 33-year-old scored 16 goals and 29 points for the Oilers. He also added 2 points in 5 playoff games. Over 15 seasons and more than 1,000 career games, Skinner has scored 699 NHL points. Food entrepreneurs in Edmonton have a new space to showcase their brands. It's a rotating food hub on White Ave. CTV's Merrick DeCash explains how it works.
Peter Keith is the brains behind the hub on White.
We've created a platform for food entrepreneurs to host pop-ups, to test drive their business, to operate on shorter-term flexible basis rather than signing their own lease.
Keith owns Muley's on 124th Street and has regularly offered pop-up opportunities to smaller businesses. Today marks opening day for his new experiment.
Restaurants are very expensive to open. Food entrepreneurs need to raise a lot of money and make a pretty long-term commitment to have their own place, to have their own location. So the hub is meant to help bridge that gap.
The goal is to offer a helping hand to food entrepreneurs so they can eventually open their own location.
We will be pretty flexible on how we work with companies. So some people might want to do this for a month. Some people might want to do it for 6 months. We've had talks with people who want to do a one-weekend pop-up. So our goal is to make it easy for them, make it accessible, and kind of meet people where they're at.
2 restaurants are currently using the space.
For sure until the end of August. So it might be a little limited thing, but hoping we can also maybe continue into the fall.
Beb's Bagels has been bouncing around from kitchen to kitchen over the past few years. They're excited to have somewhat of a home base for the summer.
It's pretty hard to be a small business and especially a restaurant, and taking on the responsibility of a brick and mortar is very daunting. So having this shared space in such a great location for a business like Beb's Bagels is pretty incredible and a rare opportunity, so we had to take it.
Ballet Coffee and Beb's Bagels experienced a busy first day on White Avenue.
It's places where they might not always have the ability to be out in the public, coming to, be to the public.
As of now, there's no timeline for turnover at the hub, but Keith says there has been lots of interest. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton's annual White Avenue Art Walk is back this weekend for its 30th year. 460 artists have registered for this year's event. The Art Walk showcases the artists' processes, materials, and inspiration behind their pieces as they create art right on site. It spans a large portion of Old Strathcona from McIntyre Park to 109th Street.
The beauty of Art Walk is just to go for a walk and discover the artists that are here and, see what catches your eye, have a chat with the artist. Get to know them.
The White Avenue Art Walk is one of the oldest, largest, and longest-running art walks in Alberta. Well, I doubt you'll see many people walking out at Rad Torque Raceway this weekend, unless you count meteorologist Josh Clausen. Josh, I'm sure the drivers know to keep you far away from those high-powered vehicles.
Yes, they do. Although we got a 17-year-old behind me, we got an 11-year-old that's drag racing right now. Things are about to get really, really noisy here. as they get ready to take off. Rocky Mountain Nationals goes all weekend down here at Rad Torque Raceway. If you want to find out more, go to radraceway.com. Not only the racing, but there's an infield here where you can check out some of the old cars. The RCMP have some of their old cruisers out here as well. Lots going on. We'll talk to Rob Vavrick with Rad Torque Raceway a little later in the newscast. Another hot one on the way for tomorrow. There you go. Now they're firing it up. Another hot one on the way for tomorrow. Temperatures should again get to about 26, 27 degrees. That's where we sit right now in Edmonton, 27 degrees. Thankfully, the wind has died down a little bit. It was gusting to about 30 kilometers per hour earlier in the day today. Right now out of the southwest at about 15 kilometers per hour. 27 or 28 will end up as the daytime high for today. I think there's a chance we get to 28 before things are all said and done. 4 degrees warmer than average, 24, the average high for this time of year. Just shy of last year when we hit 30 on this date. Sunshine for most of the day. We're starting to see a little bit of cloud cover filter in now, though. You can see that moving in from the west. Get some showers off into the northeastern Alberta around Fort McMurray. We've had some showers in through the Peace Country. Those are kind of fallen apart. But as we head through the overnight period, there is a chance of a sprinkle in and around the Edmonton area, especially around midnight into the 1 a.m. time frame. 16 degrees tomorrow morning and up to about 27. And windy tomorrow afternoon, gusts to about 40 kilometers per hour. Then a chance of some showers for Sunday. We'll talk more about the timeline on that and hear and see a little more from Rocky Mountain Nationals at Rad Torque Raceway later in the newscast.
All right, Josh, thanks very much. Coming up next on CTV News, a grisly encounter, a warning from Alberta parks after a bear charged a hiker.
Co-ops find your summer sweepstakes. Unlock your chances to win at your local co-op.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
2 great horned owls are being nursed back to health in Edmonton. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, staff at Wild North have seen an increase in the number of owls needing care this year.
The great horned owl is known as one of the best predators in the animal kingdom, a reputation this guy can't quite live up to at the moment. It's believed the owl was hit by a car.
I think owls, with their ability to turn their heads almost all the way around would see a car coming. But unfortunately for these guys, their eyes are fixed in their sockets, so they don't have peripheral vision like we do, and this is why they turn that head around. So these guys are focused on a mouse on the other side of the road. They're coming down at it. They can't see the cars coming from either direction.
Can we just cover it for a second, if that's okay? Just we want to help reduce stress.
The owl suffered an eye injury and required a bone pinning surgery on its wing.
Where we repaired the humerus, which is a long bone in the wing of the owl, was severely fractured, and so we do a bone pin to stabilize the fracture with an external fixator.
The pin was recently removed and the owl on cage rest at Wild North. Today, it was fitted for a new tail guard to prevent damage to its tail feathers.
Because generally, if you picture an owl out in the wild, they're going to be on a branch. Their tail feathers are hanging kind of below the branch. They're not running on the ground, of course. And so with these guys in their enclosures, we want to put that tail guard on to protect their tail feathers.
This young owl is also at Wild North because of a skin condition. So far this year, 15 great horned owls have needed help from rehabilitation staff, almost double the number last year.
Mostly, the population of owls directly correlates to the food source, and so we have more mice, we're going to have more owls. We've had a huge influx of rodent population in 2024, and as we get more hares and larger prey species that these guys like to eat, we're going to see more great horned owls.
This owl still needs help eating, but staff say he's getting better every day. Eventually, it will get moved to an enclosure like this one, where it can gradually build up its wing muscles.
Pitting a wing like this is always a dicey endeavor. We have to monitor them. They have to go through a rehabilitation process. We have to ensure that they can fly and hunt perfectly before being released back into the wild.
Given the owl's progress so far, there's optimism it will eventually be able to be released. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Parts of K Country are under a bear warning after a hiker encountered a grizzly that gave a clear warning to back off. Alberta Parks says the bear bluff charged at the hiker Tuesday at the Bill Milne Trail between Wedge Pond and Mount Allen Drive. The bear warning is in effect until further notice. People heading to the mountains this weekend should know buffalo berry season has started, so that means it's important to make lots of noise on trails so you don't surprise a bear that's feasting. Hiking in groups is recommended, pets need to stay on a leash, and you should bring bear spray that you know how to use. Edmonton has recorded one new case of the measles, while Calgary is seeing its biggest increase in cases since the outbreaks began in March. There are 17 new cases in Alberta. 8 of those are in Calgary. Infectious disease experts have warned big summer gatherings like Calgary Stampede could turn into super spreader events. Anyone not fully vaccinated is advised to skip large events or be very cautious while attending. Health experts say more people have become sick due to a salmonella outbreak linked to salami. Most of the patients are in Alberta. The Public Health Agency of Canada says 2 more people have been hospitalized due to tainted Ray brand Genoa salami sweet and Genoa salami hot and Bona brand mild Genova salami. A total of 84 people have become sick. 67 of them are in Alberta. Someone from BC also became sick after traveling to Alberta. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency recalled the salami products on June 10th. Well, a beautiful Friday leading into the weekend. Warm and sunny out there. Josh will let us know how long this weather will last. He's got all the details in your full forecast next.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Torque Raceway this evening. Josh,
We're on, Galen.
Josh, I was just going to say, this must be a dream assignment for you, because with all those loud engines, you don't have to listen to a word I say.
Oh, Matt, you know what? I'm sure you had something hilarious there, but my earpiece just completely cut out halfway through. Fortunately, this guy and his equipment is not going to cut out. He just got finished working on the car. Shane Westerfield from Orange County, California. How are you, Shane?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm spectacular. Okay, so what draws you out to Rocky Mountain National?
We're in a points chase right now for the Heritage Series and the Legends Nitro Series, and we've started in Bakersfield, California, with Pomona, Phoenix, went to Boise, and we won one race, and we were in the finals for the rest. So we're in the.
So you're doing well then.
We're doing well to get your. So we're just trying to keep the ball rolling, and we could have skipped this race, but we didn't want to give it to one of the local guys here, so we tried to mark our territory, let them know that we're still dominant down there in California.
Yeah, Orange County, just laying its footprint down. Okay, so how long is the season for you guys? What goes into racing?
We're about halfway through the season right now. We leave from here, and then we end up going back to Boise, Idaho. Then we go to Woodburn, Oregon, then Indianapolis, Indiana.
And then, how does this stack up against the other races?
Oh, it's great. You know, it's actually my second time racing in Canada. Last time I was in Mission racing one of my own cars a long time ago. I just been in this team almost a year now. But great people. Everyone's real polite, you know, and it's real convenient with the airport right here. Our airports, or the racetracks here, the hotels here, everyone's things right here. So we're enjoying it.
Awesome. Shane Westerfield, loving that hospitality. What team?
The Austin Bardall team.
Okay, there you go. Awesome. Shane, thanks so much. I'll let you get back to working on the equipment. All right, let's talk a little bit of weather. It was a hot one today, up to 27 degrees. Take a look outside right now through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam Action Furnace fixed right over. It's free. 27 degrees right now. 26 in Fort McMurray. You got a 22 and a 25 in Grand Prairie and Red Deer. Showers up in the Fort McMurray region. We've had some showers as well in through the Peace Country. It's kind of falling apart now. There's that one bank of cloud cover that's going to move through here early this evening, then a break, and then some thicker clouds overnight tonight. And actually, around midnight tonight, there may be a few showers that slide through the Edmonton region. It's about a 30% chance. It doesn't look like it's going to be all that heavy. Heavier rain possible across parts of the north, especially up around Fort McMurray overnight and through tomorrow morning. But look how quickly that cloud cover clears out here in the Edmonton area. So if you're coming down to Rocky Mountain Nationals, or if you have any other outdoor plans for this weekend, Saturday looks like a sunny and hot one. About 26, 27 degrees once again, and mainly sunny skies. Sunday, little different story. It's not going to rain all day, at least not here in the Edmonton area, but you do have a chance of showers early in the morning. If you look at the timeline there at the top of the screen, 5 a.m. Sunday, so through the early morning hours, showers probably pushing through the Edmonton region, but out of here, it looks like by mid-mornings. So in the afternoon, mix of sun and cloud to partly cloudy skies. And then Sunday evening, you have a slight chance of a scattered shower, but I think most of that precipitation that comes off of the foothills Sunday night should actually slide south of the city. 16 degrees tomorrow morning here in the city. Will be in the 12 to 16 degree range across the rest of central and northern Alberta. Low to mid 20s across the north tomorrow. 25 in Red Deer and here in Edmonton. Through this evening, some increasing cloud cover, chance of a shower around midnight. Temperatures stay in the 20s right through to 9, 10 o'clock tonight. And then we're right back into the low 20s by lunchtime tomorrow. By lunchtime, the wind starts to pick up, though. Gusts in the 30 to 40 kilometer per hour range to go along with the sunshine and the warm temperatures. 24 Sunday, that chance of a shower early in the morning. Less of a chance Sunday evening. Could see a few showers as well Monday and a high of 20. And then low to mid 20s for Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Matt?
All right, Josh, thank you. Healthcare workers in Red Deer are sending a message to the provincial government over contract negotiations. More than 70 people rallied outside of Red Deer Regional Hospital to support the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees. AUPE represents nearly 60,000 healthcare workers across the province. Proposals have been put forward to AHS to address wages, staffing levels, and workloads. AUPE says AHS has made no effort to advance negotiations.
It's very frustrating when one party wants to sit at the bargaining table and negotiate a fair collective agreement and the other party won't take part in those talks.
AUPE says it's still working on an essential services agreement that allows workers to legally strike if necessary. Alberta's finance minister says he can't comment on bargaining, but believes AUPE has slowed the process by failing to put forward proposals based on market comparisons or other settlements. When we return, stepping up a storm, 2 dancers at the Stampede bring a smile to hundreds of thousands of people.
Nothing clears out a dance floor like a good rainstorm.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Still ahead on CTV News at 6, a local woman whose son died of a drug overdose questions the decision not to put out a public safety alert about the tainted drug supply on the streets of Edmonton. Also ahead, how to protect yourself from the latest type of scam infiltrating your phone, and how the Calgary Stampede became not just about rodeo, but a top music destination of the summer. Those stories and much more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. It's pretty common to see people dancing up a storm at the Calgary Stampede. Now one couple's moves during a storm are making people smile. Benjamin McMurray and Sarah McDougall started dancing in the rain outside Nashville North Sunday night, not knowing someone was recording them. Their moves and the moment have since racked up more than 800,000 views online. The couple met just a few months ago and say they were just having fun after watching the rodeo. McMurray, who grew up near Airdrie, says he learned to dance at small town events and took advantage of the open space when the rain started pouring.
Nothing clears out a dance floor like a good rainstorm, so it actually worked out perfectly. We had lots of room to dance and just kind of practice our moves. Believe it or not, this is actually our first rodeo.
It was spontaneous. We were already out there. It was coming down, and I think I said we should dance in that puddle. I had no idea that was going to happen, but I keep seeing the views go up and up and up. It's crazy.
The couple says they're surprised by the response and hope the video spreads a little Stampede joy. As McMurray put it, life is about finding someone who will dance in the rain with you. That's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.